So for today's video, we're going to be discussing the new maintenance, the new tag, and also the update to Battle version 2.2 in Dragon Ball Legends. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you are new, stick around for more content like this on Dragon Ball Legends. If you guys enjoyed today's video like goal also is 1,500. If you guys enjoy it, let me know in the comment section down below how you guys feel about the new powerful opponent tag that is coming to Dragon Ball Legends and other characters you guys expect to be on that tag that are yet to be released, obviously. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And stay tuned for later when I go over some of my anniversary predictions. And just for the record, I did basically completely predict last year's anniversary, so I'm hoping I can do the same with this year's anniversary. So again, we do have Battle version 2.2. That's what we're going to start off with, the adjustment to tackle, combo compensation, and Dokubaki impact. And I'm going to give you guys examples on the screen and stuff like that in terms of like how this stuff works, right? So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So on the left-hand side of the screen, there should be some of this going on. You guys will kind of just see me juggling the opponent, and this can be turned into different things, right? You can keep the juggle going to either bait a vanish or just keep on going to get priority or whatever the case is. It's also super effective versus PvE because PvE never makes the adjustment. You'll just be able to infinitely juggle them. Well, you will until tonight anyway. Or it can be chained into things like a tackle into a charge at medium range that will allow you to probably get a perfect vanish, things of that nature, right? It was very useful, and I'm sure that it intended to be used this way. I also wanted to add in, be sure to complete all of your dailies and everything that you need to complete, because we're going to have a complete game shutdown later for maintenance. You guys will not be able to access the game in any capacity. So if this information is helpful for you guys, if you guys didn't know that you were expecting otherwise, please be sure to hit that like button. And I hope you guys complete everything you need to complete. This is a full-on maintenance once again. So most of the time when we get these, we get a lot of content, right? So let's see what happens. Just for the record, pretty much all the events and banners, all that stuff is ending like today, so we'll see what happens with that. But let's talk about what they say here about tackle. The player under attack was unable to act for a longer period of time than intended when tackles were used in combos, making them unable to respond until the combo finished. Again, tackles were so powerful because you can almost do nothing against tackles. If somebody's spamming tackles against you, there are some strats like backing out. Maybe that'll work for you. Maybe getting the strike will work, but then they'll just vanish and wait for your vanish, or they'll bait your vanish out. Like, tackle spam was actually very cancerous. Like, it could be very problematic if you just didn't know how to deal with it, right? And that's what they're talking about here. Making them unable to respond until the combo's over. It puts you in such a disadvantageous situation, which is why people either were spamming tackles or they would turn it into things like mid-range charges, which give you perfect vanish opportunities, things of that nature, right? Because people are expecting another tackle, maybe they go for a strike and then you vanish. The attacking player could also gain an advantage by performing a tackle at the end of a combo. Tackles, the way we are using them, not just because of the antics that I said and the advantages it gives you, the main advantage to extending your combos further was also so you could get access to your timer count going down faster. This is why people always use tech and always will use tech and always find new tech. Every time they try to change things up, people always find a new way to kind of like quote-unquote abuse it, because you eat clock, you eat time, and the more you eat time, the more you can switch. The more you can switch, the more you're at an advantage in this game, because that's your only real form of defense. There's no block button, for example, right? And your vanish is insane, and spamming tackles and sidesteps give you your vanish back. There's a multitude of reasons why people do these things, right? So anyways, we've made adjustments so that tackles performed against enemies who are already under attack, such as after receiving an arts attack, will only knock your opponent back to mid-range and cannot be continued in a combo. So, okay, let me make sure I understand this right. If they're under attack already and you chain in a combo that allows you, or you chain into a tackle in the combo, that will actually just knock them to medium range, meaning that okay, so the difference is, I don't know if people even notice this, but they're, well, higher level players, whatever. Beginners probably didn't notice this, but there are ranges, right? Arts cards knock opponents to different ranges, which is why you can chain into certain things, or you need to dash forward before you chain into certain things, whatever the case is, right? So tackle now, it'll just be, you won't be able to dash into like another tackle and then into another arts card. They're basically canceling that, right? Everything I said and all the previews I've shown so far in the video on the side, that stuff is not going to be available anymore if I'm reading this properly. It's all going to be canceled basically because of the way that tackle is going to be neutered in terms of the distance they knock back to. I'm sure you can facilitate a little bit of similarities, but it's going to, for the most part, be canceled. A tackle can still be connected to the next combo if it is used when your opponent is not already under attack. Even if your opponent is able to move after being hit, you cannot connect a tackle to the next combo if they're already under attack. Yeah, they don't even... So what is the... Okay, so tackle is going to be... okay, tackle is going to be used completely in neutral only, or when people are playing super passive or when they're backing up. That was what it was for anyway, but, like, it's just not the best tactic for medium range, in my opinion, anymore. But what I will say is tackle is still super overpowered because if you don't have a strike card, you're at an innate disadvantage. You can almost do nothing but vanish out of that. And if you don't have a vanish, you don't have a switch, you're just going to get forced into getting hit unless you can preempt them with like a blast or something like that or whatever the case is, right? Tackle is overpowered with the way that it works and the buff that they gave it last battle version, I think 2.1. So tackle's going to be interesting to see how they handle that going forward. Now, this is really, really problematic. This is problematic. So combo compensation is something that's been in the game for a while. This was implemented a long time ago because characters were able to string together such massive combos by sidestepping or charge stepping and things like that. And they didn't want to get rid of those abilities, right? They're intended to be in the game. They would be gone already if they weren't, right? They would have been adjusted if they weren't. All they've done to those abilities of tackle and like sidesteps and stuff like that, charge steps, is they've made it to where you do less damage for extending your combos further. So in trade-off for getting the benefits I mentioned earlier, like the ability to shorten your timer counts or like waste time or whatever the case is, like all the things I mentioned earlier, you did less damage. But that's changing here. Combo compensation adjustment. Since tackles can no longer be used to extend combos, we've reduced the severity of combo compensation damage. This is insanity. They're going to allow units that can string together combos to do more damage. Units that draw, like most of the Vegeta family units get a buff from this. Like the blue transforming Vegeta, the Super Saiyan God one, he is going to be insane. Units that draw like super fast or can reload their whole hand are going to be disgusting. And this is also an even further buff to Kefla because she's the unit like that. Android 21, unit like that. Units that can do these things that come in and immediately draw cards like the purple Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue. Like these characters that want to string together 5-6 card combos because card draw speed, free card draws, whatever, are going to be insane with this. So that's our change. Last but not least, in terms of changes, we have Dokubaki Impact. You guys probably never see this. It's very hard to get a beam struggle, but long story short, that's just the beam struggle. If you didn't know, the beam struggle actually couldn't kill, which was annoying. I've only been in this situation like 3 times ever, and I played this game since freaking, I don't know. It's over 2 years now, because even though the 2-year anniversary is not here yet, I played it before pre-release, whatever. Anyway, so it's been a while. I've been in this situation like 3 times, probably, and it didn't kill, right? It now can kill. It would leave them at 1. But this only happened when certain attacks were used. Not most special moves can't even beam struggle. It's weird. So there's that. It now can defeat the enemy. But the same doesn't actually happen with the strike card Dokubaki Impact, where you get the little meter on the screen, just like this one. That's what that is. But when you guys clash with the strike cards, that cannot kill. But the blue card one can. Okay. Last but not least, new powerful opponent tag is coming into the game. This is exciting. This is basically all the antagonists in the game. So to bring more variety to your party composition, the powerful opponent tag will be added to the following characters. Biggest winners for this type of grouping, this change, are characters like Rildo, who did not have any tags, right? The characters that didn't have any tags, Hit should be on this list. I imagine Hit's on this list somewhere. Let me actually just look for Hit. Yeah, Hit's on the list. Basically, any antagonist is going to be on this list. So any character that didn't have tags or didn't have Deborah should be on the list too. These are the characters. Oh, Deborah's not on the list. Oh, because he's not a... Okay, I get it. I get their point. Powerful opponent. You could have gave Deborah that. I mean, whatever. Whatever. But it's mainly just the main, like, you know, antagonists for portions of the series type of deal. Or like movies or whatever. That's why you see some Vegetas on here, some Beerus is on here. I'm pretty positive these are going to be like antagonistic Vegetas, early like Saiyan Saga type deal, Frieza Saga, whatever the case is, where he was still a bad guy, right? So that's why you see these characters, even though Beerus isn't, he's an antagonist, right, in the Battle of Gods movie. But he's on the list as well. But the biggest winners are characters like Hit that didn't have teams, like Rildo, that forced him to be on monocolor type teams. Now, the downside of this is, well, who's buffing this tag? Which leads me to my next thing. Again, tune in tomorrow, or not tomorrow, later today, where I talk about my anniversary predictions. Just for the record, characters like Jiren, like Topo, these are guys that are probably going to be on this grouping. And I'm not saying that I'm expecting them for anniversary, because I want to save that for that other video. But if they do drop, then this grouping will probably just pick up more units that are buffing it, because it doesn't make any sense adding the tag if you're not going to buff it, right? It's going to need a whole slew of characters that buff it anyway. So that's what we're going to be expecting going forward. So let me know what you guys think. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe, of course, if you are new, for more content, as well as the notifications so you don't miss anything we upload here on the channel. Thank you all. Have an awesome day, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.